Hello and welcome back to the Elder campaign. I'm your host and GM Ninevin, and with me are Kathia and Scenarios.
Hello, this is Kathia.
And this is Scenarios.
Awesome. This is episode 38, session 34. It's a pretty good number, doing this for a minute. All right, so last two sessions really were solo sessions, where you both kind of got up to things in Fire Season, mostly alone, mostly away from each other. Really kind of not on clan lands for much of that time. Scenarios, you traveled to Johnston. Kathia, you did a hero quest, so you were both absent from the clan and from each other for quite a while. So as we roll into Earth Season, as things have kind of settled down, you two can have a chance to sort of tell each other what you've been up to. This is a recap, but since neither of you were around for either of your other sessions, feel free to fill each other in.
You can go first. I won't remark on you looking different in character.
Been a work in progress. But also, Kathia will able to see two children already, which were our Barents that we found down Johnstown in the Lunar's possession, custody. And Kathia might be one of the only people that Scenarios tells that Lunar is not like the one we met before, and may try to cash in a favor with me later that we may, just given her disposition and demeanor, may not want to get into.
Yay! You said not like the one before. It started going through my head. One of these Lunars is not like the other.
Yeah, like Philomena's nice, and Hersta or Horsta is evil. Apparently, is the provincial way of looking at her.
Oh boy! But you got your stepkids here with us now, or with you?
Yep.
Cool. How old are they? Sorry, I asked you a tough question.
It's just math.
No, I have information somewhere.
It's on your carriage.
It's 6 and 4, I think.
So you are starting off like full bore with the family here.
0 to 3, and no time flat.
Or maybe 3+. If you're blessed. Wow. Well, congratulations, and we'll get to go. I'll help you go fulfill your whatever you have to do for this person.
Hooray!
I mean, you kind of knew that going in, but I'll confirm that of course I'll help. You're one of my favorite cousins.
I better be at this point.
Well, we got some other cousins in our group that are pretty close. Oh, well, good. Congratulations on them. You also, do you tell me that you might be making your marriage long term, or is that not something that you're discussing?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So I'll congratulate you on that too, because I mean, he seems like an okay guy. So I don't have a problem with
it. He's less mopey now.
Well, I mean, he had a reason before.
I know.
To be fair. So, are you ready to hear my excitement?
I am.
So I went off to my shrine I set up, and then from there I stepped over into the other side, where I was found by Estar. And you'll probably see Estar, who's a whitish silver unicorn with silver eyes.
Ooh.
Yes, it's a big regal creature, and he's agreed to be my companion. So now I'm officially a unicorn rider. I'll actually introduce you to him. Can't speak, but he's probably smarter than either of us. Not that I say that, but also talk about, I'm sure you're aware that Telmori surrendered to Jomes.
I think so.
And Jomes has now been awarded all the Moboden lands, which I find a little bit, I'm sure that's a standard Lunar way to do it, but I'm kind of, I don't know. It seems kind of disgusting. So I don't know what we're going to do about it. Because they've enslaved the survivors, which is also disgusting. And I don't know what we're going to do about it.
I think we've been adopting more Maboder.
Yes.
Or led the charge on that.
Yes, we have. We have. And I will be happy. I think if we have room in my, well, I'm sure you have some, but if I have room on my 3 stead, on my space, on my steading, that we would absorb some into our area, and it would be worthwhile.
Yeah.
I've also, since we're a year plus out now after taking it, and I believe the peace treaty is done or getting close to done, I've been having my older brother, Durdast, as well as, let's see, look up names of people I should know by now. Elendor are generally staying out the stead with me. I figure it gives us a little more muscle if the people next door to us give us problems, which might be coming. Or at least they could legally at this point.
I would expect it.
So I don't really want to kill any more of them, but if they show up, I will.
Solid.
So, yeah, I'll just let you know I'm here for you because I know you got a busy Earth season, and I'm here for you, but because I'm probably just gonna spend Earth season pretty well around here, getting to know Estar and chipping in with stuff at our studying.
All right. I've got my two big plans. The only other thing I thought of was reaching out to Mardina to see if she could maybe
Gesundheit.
give us any insight, since these elf things are getting a bit more
That's a good idea.
trying.
So, is she here now, or is she staying in Altucher? Is she back?
Since you left last Earth season, she stayed with the elves over the winter, and then she's been in Altucher. She asked you to let her use quite a bit of your Linker
Yeah.
Bank credit for a project, which you told her she could. So she's been doing that. You haven't really heard from her or talked to her though since then.
Early in Earth season, I'll just take a trip. It's not much for me now. And besides, it gives me a chance to show up in style. And I'll ride over to her to ask her specifically to look into stuff for us for Dark Season with the elves and use some of that credit to see if she can get some ideas for us.
Okay. When you go to the Linkermite Temple and ask to speak with her, the high priest there tells you that she's not present, but that she should be returning in the next couple of weeks.
I'll leave a message for her then.
Okay.
For which, I mean, I'll write it down.
You will leave a message, which you can write now. You are literate. You're capable of that.
Yeah, or I'll have him write it if it's not. I'll have him help me.
Okay.
Swallow my pride. I don't have that much pride about my reading and writing. How good is my reading and writing now? 20% total in Tarshite.
That's not bad. 30% represents fluency, right?
Yep.
So you can work through things. It's slow, right?
Yep. Cool. I'll leave her a message and tell what we just said. Hey, we're heading back out to the elves in Dark Season. Can she give it a look and see if she has any idea of things we could do to help prep, or could maybe look into what we might expect? I mean, it's Dark Season. I'm kind of expecting trolls, but you never know. It seems natural. But the last time the dwarves were a problem. I'm guessing whatever's this time is going to be more of a problem.
I hope so. So, yeah.
You ready to end this campaign?
No, I still have, about a year and 6 months left of it, roughly. We're past the halfway mark, but we're not that far past the halfway mark.
That's good because I have a lot of stuff I want to do. Don't be another one of those drop the campaign when I have cool stuff I want to do with my character.
I mean, we'll see. So the truth is, to have a short aside here, I have an in-game date that I want to be done on. So I want the game to end at the end of 1611. How long that takes is largely going to be a question of pacing, how many things you want to do outside of moving the calendar forward, whether or not you guys all die, those sorts of things. But it's always an option, right? But that's kind of my goal. So I expected that to take roughly 3 years. We are on target for that, more or less. It's not but if we hit the 3-year mark and we still need 3 or 4 more sessions, I'm not going to just can it. That's not what I'm going to do. But yeah, anyways, side note, Estar is smarter than either of you.
I know.
Okay.
Estar has an intelligence of 17. I have intelligence and power written down, which are both 17s. So this is a case where Estar is the player character and I'm the familiar. I don't have any of the other attributes.
I know. I was supposed to put them on the wiki and I failed. I failed you as a GM.
You're okay.
but it won't be relevant this session, so we're fine.
It might be if I get in a fight.
It won't be. So,
Okay. I get a fancy new toy and you're going to put me in a fight and not let me.
nope, I'm not gonna let you use it, and I'll probably kill you in this fight, and then you won't get to do it at all. Fantastic. Just the best thing a GM could hope for. Anyways, all right, so yeah, so Mardina's not there. Your impression is that she is in either Johnston or Boldhome.
Well, I'm glad she's confident enough to travel on her own.
Confident, foolhardy, whatever. So
Well, she was smart enough to pull back from going with us this time.
yeah. So anyways, yep, she's off and about, but she should be returning. Other stuff. Is there any at this point, like your clan has been moving, and not just your clan, but your whole tribe has been moving to try and sweep up some of the Mavoder survivors as best it can, right? Like you're not going to be able to hoover up like 1,000 people,
Right.
but you might be able to save like 100 or so, right? Like, which isn't nothing, but that's kind of what's going on. So like there's been concerted efforts in that direction. Other stuff, news wise, scenarios. I want you to make an human insight check for me. I need a little help figuring out how to approach this topic.
Success.
You got a success? Okay, cool. So this is something that will occur to you as you are sort of like, you're getting like very pregnant now. Like you're at that like what we would call 7.5 months, right? So you have more time to kind of like hang around and just kind of like think about stuff. Something that you have run into a few times now with your mother and with Harver, right, is that it seems like they know a lot of things about what's going on. Like your mother had you take a letter to Johnston.
Yeah.
Harver has had multiple conversations with you that lead with you saying something, him going, oh yeah, I did hear about that, or yeah, I knew. So it occurs to you now, as you're getting more like rooted and having time to just think about stuff and how things have gone, that you're pretty sure they both have networks. Not that you would think of it that way necessarily, but you're pretty sure they both have people they talk to regularly that transmit information back and forth. We're not talking 007 here, but you know what I mean.
I want a network.
Well, that was easy.
At least like a 2 or 3.1. Wrong game.
Right? But you've also seen these things organizing, like Corustor has been organizing a network of traders. You suspect Yunora is up to something, you don't know what. He wanted to go with you to Johnston, and he didn't cause you any trouble.
I know, that's troublesome.
He might be your network.
I'm just saying, like I'm just giving you a chance to think about that. I'm not saying you have to do anything with it right now or anything or ever, frankly. But you have been more and more in contact with like as you're rising in politics, you're starting to realize like, man, a lot of people have like connections to people who just kind of keep them informed about things. That would be cool. That seems useful. So
Hey, yeah, I want one of those.
everybody wants one of those. Your temple basically acts as one, Kathia. All of your wanderers are constantly coming in for different religious ceremonies, and they go far and wide. And when they come in, they tell you about what they've been doing, what they've seen and stuff. So your temple kind of informally does that. But it's pretty focused on like the things that adventuring Yolornans care about.
To be fair, that's what I care about too.
Right, exactly. Cool. Those are the big ticket items as far as like kind of you guys are getting caught up. You're sort of reaching out for information and sort of thinking about that sort of stuff and getting caught up on news and things. Otherwise, there's not like too much going on, right? You haven't been by to see your little baby wyverns for a while.
I mean, I'm in the city.
Yeah, it's been a couple years. I imagine they're getting big.
Yeah.
Big lizards.
Are they going to end up with coders?
But no, wyvern riding is just a thing that happens in the Lunar Empire. I don't know exactly where it comes from, but like there's obviously some tradition of it because the coders have them, but there's also just a contingent of them at Pavis, at least for the cradle scenario. So it's something that the Lunars can do, or a province of the Lunars, or one of the cults inside the Lunar Empire can handle. I don't know if it's necessarily a lunar cult, but it's something they can do. It's just that obligate carnivores aren't actually good mass cavalry, so they're really only useful for like small groups.
Special ops.
Otherwise, feeding them is a nightmare. So
That's true.
But anywho, that's kind of what you're looking at. So all right, that's cool. So that's kind of the quiet stuff. Kathia, you are frequently at your stead doing stuff, patrols and things. I don't want to miss our high holy days and things. So as we get into Death Week, I like that the the calendars are like thematic all by themselves.
Yes.
So as we get, it makes it easy to do this stuff. So as we get into Death Week, you are at your stead.
Oh no.
It's, you know, you're approaching the middle of Earth season, so you're kind of fading into that like cooler fall. Leaves are coming down. You're on mostly grazing land, but there's still like trees and stuff in the tops, like on the hilltops and things. So there's some leaves. The grasses are turning. You're not really planting, so there is just grass, wild grasses, and turning oranges and browns. And you,
Pretty.
yeah, it's nice out. Like I love fall, so Earth season's great. But as all you know, it's nice out, it's pleasant, right? Like there's a breeze, it's cool. But one of your cotters comes running up to you because there's a man on the march from the Mandarin. Like he's just like walking on one of the smaller like footpaths that kind of would cut through. I mean, you guys are connected, so there's a footpath that would go
Right.
from. I mean, this used to be part of the Mandarin land, so their footpath network would attach back to their main village. So she seems concerned about it because he's clearly a Thane. He's wearing a black cloak. He's carrying a sword, shield, looks grim.
Okay. Well, I will. Right. You said it wouldn't matter, but I assume I would ride out to check out what's going on.
Yep, makes sense. Cool. So you go out to see what's happening. When you get close, like you can see this man. He's walking. He's got like a shield slung on his back. He has a sword at his hip. Like I said, black cloak, armored. You recognize him pretty quickly as Helmil. He's the Thane whose son you killed several years ago. Used to live in your hall.
Did we fight him too?
Scenarios did in the hall.
Okay. So I know him by name.
Yes.
And then, so I'll call out to him. Where go you? What's up?
What's up?
No, I just ask what
The where go you was good.
Yeah, I would just actually call out and give a standard, kind of Orlanthe Tarshite type greeting. I mean, I'm sure we are not friends, but I don't believe, to my knowledge, there's any existing specific enmity, because I'm guessing I'm finding that out now. I don't think I'm aware of that he has hatred for me.
Right.
And I don't have any for him. It's all water under the bridge as far as I'm concerned.
Right. You're like, I'm cool with it.
I'm at peace with it now. I just finished getting at peace with it.
You just finished getting a piece of it. That's what I was talking to Scenarios a week or two ago, and I was like, it's kind of funny that it's like you're like, I've dealt with this, I'm over it. And it's like, well, but not everybody.
So, but I will stand. So yes, and I'll be wary. I mean, he's a Thane. He's on our land. He used to live here. I'm aware that there's a chance he's showing up to cause trouble.
Right. Yeah, he kind of is. So as he gets closer, like you call to him, he continues like striding towards you. You can see that his scabbard is marked with like the runes of death and truth. He has a death rune tattooed onto one of his cheeks.
Was he a Humakti before?
Nope.
But now he is clearly one.
Yes. With his loss of his home, his lands, and his son, he severed himself from his old life and joined Humak. So he gets fairly close to you so that he can see you. It occurs to you that he probably doesn't recognize you right away, just because it's been several years and your situation has changed substantially.
Right.
So, like, your armor is very bright and shiny. You're wearing a lot of silver. You're mounted on a unicorn, right? Like, this was not true 3 years ago. You're wearing wyvernhide armor.
Right.
None of these things had happened then. So he's heard, he's probably heard of you. You guys have standing in the clan and tribe, but still it's something. So it takes a moment to focus, and he looks up at you and he says, I am Thane Helmil of the Mandarin, and we have business between us.
What business is that?
3 years ago, said you slew my son, drove me out of my house, and seized my lands. These matters were settled by treaty, and I have no intention of starting a new war, for that would be unjust. But there are personal matters between us that can only be settled in a duel.
I will actually say there's got to be something better we can do. It's 3 years in the past. I'm sorry for your losses. I don't hold any personal enmity towards you, and I dealt a long time with the deaths that were caused by that. And I progress, and I have basically, I want to say it in a diplomatic way, but I have bigger things to do than play little 1-versus-1 fights with somebody over a stead issue 3 years in the past.
It's really more about his son.
And I will note, hey, there are a lot of big things going on around here. And I mentioned there's the dead I've heard so much about that parenthesis I as a player mentioned several times going back to it. The if he wants to make himself useful and find the make up what you can for that we have all the people from the Malbolden. Did I pronounce that right?
Mabodr.
I was thinking I messed it up. Mabodr, who we're trying to take in. Those are all people who could use someone, a Thane, a brave warrior of Humoct like you. And I also say I have a quest I have to go do in Dark Season. And I said, let's raise swords together instead of against each other and look at the bigger world. And I'm sorry about your son. I can't bring him back. I've dealt a lot with the fact that people died, and I don't like that.
He nods, and he seems, for Humoct, his face softens, right? He seems uncharacteristically sympathetic. He says, I understand. I have also had time to deal with things, but when I joined this cult, when I swore my sword to Humoct, I also swore an oath that I would meet you in combat.
Okay. So what are the stakes of this combat that you want to do?
He'll tell you. 3 years ago, this would be a duel to the death with whatever magics we can bring to bear. But as I've grown further from the event, I recognize now that isn't necessary. I would prefer a test of skill, weapon and shield, and a circle of honor, no magics, to disabling or death. Okay, so term of art, disabling or death means that if he cuts you or you cut him hard enough that you can't keep fighting, so you lose your weapon arm, you lose use of your legs, that ends it. But if someone dies, like 3 or 4 good cuts that take your health down to 0, or if someone gets critical to the face, that's not a breach of honor. Like it's killing is acceptable but not necessary. Like whereas in fights to first blood, if you kill someone, that reflects poorly on you. So he's a Humoct. Death is always at play, but he's not pursuing it.
All right, I got a cultural question for you. Do I have any real options in here other than to accept it?
You can turn him down. It will add to your reputation, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
Because you'll be someone who's been avoiding honorable duels.
Yep.
Which this would be considered so. Like it would be considered an honorable duel.
But would it be okay if I countered and said, how about duel to first blood? Because that would be a lesser duel, right? But that would be an honorable duel. I've accepted that I would.
Yeah, you can offer counter terms and you can consider them for sure.
So basically I tell him, I got a less, how about this? We can do an honor duel, first blood. If I win, or if you would like to, even if you win, would you consider accompanying me on a quest in Dark Season?
He thinks about it for a moment. He says, I would be willing to accept those terms, price for my loss, if there's a price for yours.
Yeah. What would the price? What price?
That's a good question. I haven't thought about this. So what would he want from you?
Does he have anything he's done with Humoct that he would want me to go help with? It seems like a natural way to pay each other off is helping our quest, but that's also
right. Yeah, you're lucky that he's basically like, yeah, it has been 3 years, and I'm not as I've become more of a Humoct, like I'm less attached to this trauma, but I swore an oath early on, so I don't really have a way of backing out of it either.
No, I totally understand.
Becoming apostate in my cult.
Yep. No, that's fine. I told him I swore an oath to go do this thing in Dark Season, so I just need to, and I would rather him go with me. I would rather make him a companion, if not a friend,
right,
than have an enemy.
Makes sense. Okay.
Hey, we need somebody new for this. He's probably pretty good.
Can the Humoct fight? Probably. What would he want? Question. I'm not sure what he would want, but let's say some sort of assistance with something.
Okay.
Yeah, something reciprocal, basically. Like he'll go on a quest with you, or you have to come help him with something.
Okay.
Whatever that something is, will probably have political complications for you because I'm a mean GM. But
we know.
Well, and unfortunately, if we fight melee, he has the upper hand on me, I'm sure.
Maybe. You'd be surprised. You're not bad at melee.
Yeah. And no magic, so that takes away his.
That's the big one.
6. I don't have.
That's the big one, is that he's not going to cast a Blade Sharp 6 and a True Sword and then just like lop you apart, like or just
Well,
hit
if he
you with a
was
Severed Spirit or something. You know,
if
like
he didn't do this, I wouldn't agree to it, and I would say nope. Any weapons, and I'd shoot him at distance.
right? I know. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. But okay, so he'll lay out yeah. First Blood is fine, with the notation that this is a Humakti duel, so if one of you dies, it's no dishonor on either party.
That's fine.
Like, yes.
I also suggest I would like to bring a side here, and then we have somebody with some powerful healing, and if either of us goes down, we'll have that applied. 'Cause I don't
Luckily,
see-
you have someone here with powerful healing.
exactly.
Yeah, your unicorn fills that role quite neatly.
Yeah. By the way, Estar can Estar can pretty much do everything as far as healing, right? Other than
Estar
bring
can
back from the
cast-
dead.
His horn works like a heal spell, but he can pump as many MPs as he wants into it.
So he can reattach limbs.
He can reattach a limb. He can stabilize bleeding. He can't regrow a limb.
Yep.
Restore health, like restore attributes, bring someone back from the dead. Those are not things he can do. And his
Okay.
ability to deal with poisons, like he can get rid of poisons with MP. He can get rid of diseases with MP. If
I'll
there's
be honest,
disease,
I don't even ask or expect this guy.
Right.
I might be. Let's see, where's there we go. With Thane Hillmill. So are we doing this now? Just the two of us out here in the open with the unicorn as a second?
yeah, only. I mean, as far as he's concerned, like you're both honorable combatants, and the gods are sufficient witness.
That's fine with me.
Cool. All right, then up spear, I guess.
I guess. Oh boy.
See how you do.
Uh-huh.
You got it.
I'm guessing he's pretty darn deadly, so
I mean, he's a Thane and a Humakti. But 3 years ago, he was an Orlanthi, so
yeah, so he got better.
a little.
So I realized most of it might be magic, which he's giving up. Okay, well, I have my spear and my shield, and I guess we are just, since we can't cast anything, we're just going to
Do it.
we're doing this and draw our circle for our fight, whatever that is, and start in on it.
Yeah, you demarcated space, so you have some room to maneuver, but it's not really like if you were trying to shoot at him with the bow or something, he'd be able to run you down.
Yeah.
But it gives you space to like engage in work. You can give some ground, press forward, move side to side. So, like it's like
Okay.
a dueling ring, so like a reasonably sized room, right?
Okay. Let's go for it.
All right, cool. What's your
Combat table is not updated by my skill list. Okay. Boy, one hand spear doesn't do much damage either, does it? I am really giving up. Okay. Well,
plus
anyhow.
1d6 plus 1? It's
Yeah.
not the worst.
Strike rank 5.
SR5. Okay. Amusingly, his is the same, so you'll both be attacking and parrying more or less
Oh boy. Here we go.
simultaneously. Go for it. Roll your attack. I'll let you roll first.
Well, I rolled an
How'd you do?
impel. I rolled a 12.
Oh no. All right. I'll try to
Hooray.
parry that bad boy. Go and roll your damage against the shield. See if you can chip
Okay.
it.
And I'm doing double damage still. So 15 damage.
15 damage. Okay. So you penetrate the shield, but not the armor.
Now my spear is stuck in his shield, which makes his shield kind of unusable and my spear unusable.
Unusable. Yes.
Oh boy.
That's an
Okay.
interesting result.
No, it's a bad result for me, actually, since I didn't manage to damage him. Okay.
You have other weapons?
For now, I'm parrying with shield.
Right. Yeah, you have that capacity still. All right. So they'll attack your shield. It was a very
I
funny result.
failed
Okay.
97.
Okay, cool. Technically not. Okay, cool. So he will hit you in the 10, which is abs.
Yep.
Okay, for how much damage? Oof. 12 damage?
Ooh. Well,
Does that put you down? Okay, cool.
my AP is only, let's see, that's exactly what I have. Let's double check it real quick. I have I have 6 on my sheet. And that seems right for everything. 5 for the wyvern armor, which I never wrote down separate. Okay.
See,
Yeah, I
and
see.
people say that RuneQuest combats against high skill opponents take forever.
Yeah, I rolled a 97. I rolled a special, it took my spear out of the combat, and then I rolled a failure, just a normal failure.
So
But
you guys- Okay, so you're badly hurt, right? Like you're out, like you're dropped,
Yep.
basically.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So what happens is that you two both, like, you draw up your circle, you just do whatever starting ritual you would have, and then you both have your arms and you both attack. So you have the slightest speed edge on him, and you put your spear through his shield. But as part of his parry, he like twists your spear and just leaves you, like, he jerks you to the side, and so like your shield is out of line of your body, and he just like chops at you and hits you like midsection, basically, like immediately. You go down. As soon as you go down, he like throws his shield off, so it takes your spear with it, like several feet to the side. Then he steps back and puts his sword down. And so at that point, like, the duel's over, and the Estar is able to approach you. You're in quite a bit of pain. You just got chopped with a sword. It's unpleasant. You feel like at first it hurts, right? Because you get like prodded with a horn, like to your like midsection, and that's painful. And then you feel like a warmth, like in a light, like kind of flow out, like life and light kind of together, and the pain just seals away and goes away, and you're pretty quickly untouched by that wound. The star nickers at you. You get the distinct impression that he is not impressed.
I stand up as this guy, and then say, "Well, congratulations, you won it. So I owe you. We'll be okay. I'll have to pay to fix my armor."
It's damage as damage as it gets in a fight. I mean, it's repairable. He kind of nods and says, "And I am my shield."
I take my spear back. He says a silver. I suppose he could keep it, but if he doesn't, I would take my spear.
He doesn't want it. No, no terms were exchanged for like seizing gear or any of that. So he'll let you take it. Though he does note that, and he says, "You seem." He says, "You seem highly placed in your cult."
Things have gone well for me lately, but you have me at a disadvantage in a melee fight. That's not my strength.
He kind of shrugs his head at that, like, one shoulder and the head over, and he goes, the sword of death has most things at a disadvantage in a melee.
Yeah, whatever.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm better than you, but I'm supposed to be, so like I'm not that proud."
I would have completely killed him if we had magic, though.
Yeah, sure. In a range fight, you would have murdered him.
Okay, I will actually offer once again if he would like to go earn glory in Dark Season. He doesn't know me now, but if he wants to go, we need a good solid sword.
He takes a moment to think about it.
Yep.
He tells you frankly, he says, "I care a little for glory, but
Honor.
it would be nice to put my sword to productive use. The peace treaty has kept us bound for several years, and I've done little."
Well, I will inform him. First of all, I think he knows where we're living now, so I'm going to rub that in. But I'm going to say this is where we are, so you can.
You know where your house is.
Yeah, you can send it to me or to the temple, and then let me know. Because or if he's already agreeing, then yeah, I'll let him know.
He's provisionally agreeing unless something comes up. Ultimately he's a Thane whose only real rivals have been locked into a peace treaty for the last 3 years, so he hasn't been doing a lot. He's been training and learning about his cult, but he hasn't actually done much like fighting.
So, well, I'll point out to him we have several things going, and while I understand there will always be that loss between us, that maybe we can get out and accomplish some good in the area.
Maybe.
That's fine.
So
I don't expect him to like me, and I don't know if I like him.
He doesn't seem super likable, to be
What's
frank.
that?
He hasn't. I don't think so far he's been super likable.
Nope.
So
But
he's been amenable to conditions, though. Like, he's
well,
been
I
willing
trust
to
his.
talk.
I'm
Yeah.
willing to trust his word as a Humakti. One of the advantages is I feel pretty safe trusting that, and the other is, frankly, if he's willing, we don't have to be buddies. I'm at a point now where I need somebody who's good.
Right. Okay. You can make an insight roll on him if you want to, kind of get a sense of where he stands. Don't be afraid to request these guys, I know.
Well, I was kind of role playing it until you forced me to roll my. I rolled a 53. How good?
I don't know.
Well, you got to be kidding me.
You have 52?
I've had 52.
That's how it goes sometimes. Okay. So, I mean, you get the obvious, right? Like, you understand each other's context. You also understand that and he's kind of said as much. Like 3 years ago, he was properly angry, but he's had a lot of time to process his grief and learn from the Kultu who mocked, like to let stuff like that go, right? And so he's not as like he hated you 3 years ago. He doesn't necessarily hate you now. So that context to you is clear. He has flatly told you, because Humakti are usually pretty honest. Like, I might go because I haven't done anything like adventurous, or even just like he hasn't put his hewing arm to much use lately. So just being able to go do something might be interesting. Beyond that, he's kind of hard to read, and you have a hard time getting a sense of his greater motives. So, and while Humakti are honest, they're not necessarily going to tell you everything. So
that's fine.
But yeah,
I don't really need everything. I just if he's willing to accompany us, that will plug a hole that we're missing.
Yeah, and he's apparently super deadly.
I don't know if he's super deadly. We know that non-magic melee is not going to be my thing. I'm pretty good, but
I was going to say you have masteries in these skills. You're not bad at them.
Nope. Well, that 97. Having a special basically rip the spear out of my hand and then fail the parry was unlucky, but that's life.
Yeah,
I've been pretty lucky with this character at times, so I can't.
No, it's all good. Cool. All right, so you leave feeling probably fairly neutral about all of this, but that's better than where you were before with it.
I'm glad that it's at least settled.
Yeah, for sure. So cool. That was a good thing.
Does this in any way affect my reputation? Lost a duel, or does it not matter?
Honestly, if you had stuck to the original terms,
yeah,
with the higher stakes it would have, but with the lower stakes where it's like,
yep,
only in the worst of circumstances can this really kill you. It's not really worth a lot. So
that's fine.
Cool. All right. So that kind of happens there. So you're fishing for a fifth. So you've got your hook out. We'll see.
You don't have to if you don't want to, or if it doesn't make sense for him. I just thought it might make sense. Do we have a
we
fifth?
Might. I mean, I've spent some time thinking about how the last few years have been for him, because it is hard to hold on, especially when you worship the god of separation.
Yeah. I was thinking we've got the two of us, we got Elendor, and then I think we were thinking about Durdak.
He is a reliable spear, and he is also somewhat disposable in the grand scheme of things. He has no greater family, like he's not married, doesn't have kids.
Yeah. Just don't refer to my brother that way.
No, it would be very sad if he died. But if he died, I would never have to see the automated transcripts to call him dirt ass ever again, which is, it's mean. So, all right, cool. So that resolves somewhat. I'm happy with that. Next up, we have a high holy day for really everybody, because your seasonal holy day will happen later this week, in a couple of days, actually.
Right to go in.
Yep. It's always good to be humbled. The next week is the week for the Arnaldan High Holy Day. So mechanically, we can kind of duck those until we can go ahead and resolve them. So, Kathia, you would resolve yours first. This is a seasonal holy day, so you would go make a worship roll. If you had any magic to regain, you could do it here.
I don't have any magic to regain, but I can still do a worship roll.
Yes, and if you wanted to do this at your, if you wanted to go out to your shrine and do that, you could, in which case you would get a power gain roll.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Not just a minute. I was going to say it before you said the power gain, just because I think my shrine's going to become a place I'm at a little more.
I think that makes sense.
So I successfully worship. Thank God I have a high skill. I rolled a 91.
You can always pump it with magic points, but okay, cool. So you get that. You get a check in worship. You will get a power gain roll at the end of the season. So put a check in the power gain as well. Cool. So that's you. So you go off and do your own thing. Basically, you have unicorn. You have a group of fellow Yolornans who go with you. You don't usually get the same Yolornans every season, but you usually have a group. So they go with you will have some who come out. A lot of them are we want to join the subcult and learn that specific trick, basically. But once we have it, we don't need to keep coming all the time. So they might only go out once a year, every year or two. But there's enough different Yolornans that you're able to always drag out a small group. So that's cool. Then the week after that, we have Arnaldo's High Holy Day. Cenarios, you are extremely, you're quite pregnant now, and still suffering minimal pain from that, but you've got the waddle when you walk, you've got the, there's still, physical displacement occurring. So your belly's quite round. You are pretty well convinced that you are carrying multiple children at this point, or one extremely large baby. Yeah. So during your high holy day. So I mean, it is kind of like, you have your role as Pelora, you are an initiate of Ronalda, you are expecting your first childbirth, you are heavily pregnant, it is the harvest season, you are representing one of the grain goddesses who has a special harvest that you kind of help oversee. You have your own lands being harvested. So like I would say probably this moment in your life is the moment you've maybe felt most connected to Ronalda. I would think, like you're coming up on your the first year of your marriage, all that stuff's kind of happening. So I would assume that you're feeling a lot of that. Otherwise, you've been through this high holy day several times, but your perspective on it has probably changed somewhat. What does that look, or how does that make Scenarios feel, or how does she handle all that, I suppose?
Surprisingly, she's starting to question some of the adventuring.
Okay, don't question it too much, or else we won't have a campaign.
No, it's starting to be that thing of like, okay, but like understanding my mother,
Mm-hmm.
because becoming an adult, and then even those first couple of years, like, okay, like how can she be happy doing that? If I can see it, I'm not ready to be there yet, so I'm hoping Barenth is willing to extend the marriage a year, so I don't have to stop being an adventurer.
Right, because you got married at the end of this week, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll have to renegotiate that this week, basically. For the record, Barenth would be happy to extend the marriage. What that looks like is kind of up to you. And to be clear here, whatever form of marriage you take on, divorce is always an option for both parties. The marriage describes who gets to keep the kids and what sort of property gets exchanged. Like those are the basic choices there. So like the year marriage is really like this has a known expiration on it, but every marriage can be terminated. There's no backseas marriages.
But it also just feels good because I'm finding my place, more fully resolving what that Marangor and all the divide in me was.
Mm-hmm.
But also realizing I don't have to fully leave it behind, but learning more tools than just the axe and shield over time. Kind of how I dealt with that Jackalil for now.
Right. No, I get you. Yeah, it's, Arnaldo doesn't forbid adventuring. She doesn't forbid combat. But yeah, like it's not where her cultic strengths lie for sure. All right, cool. So this is going to be pretty similar. It's your high holy day, so you'll make a worship roll to regain any magic you may have expended. Do you have any lands that are still herd, or is everything being farmed now?
Everything's farmed now.
Okay, that's what I thought. So you don't need to do the beast stuff, right?
I don't need to. I don't know if it'd be appropriate to help others, but also I want to make sure to get restored.
Right. You can. You could. The only you could.
But I need to make sure to worship each week to get rune points back by dark season.
Yes.
I was thinking about risking buying a special rune spell or whatnot.
Okay. Why is it a risk?
Well, just more than money than anything, really.
Okay. So you're in your estimation, we haven't done anything that would grant you a spell, so you would need to buy a technique, is what you're saying.
Because I don't know if getting the kids back to a family, that's the only real thing I did last time, and then
well, no, that's not true.
Birth
I would say that getting back like a couple of kids from your husband is maybe not worth it, but you also played a pretty big role in tipping the public opinion over to helping them aboard more generally. That is probably worth a spell, I think.
Okay.
Like you had more impact than just like, my husband is missing 2 kids, I'll go get them. Like there's more happened from that than just that.
I'm thinking about getting summon Earth Elemental.
Okay, so we've talked about this. There's apparently a pretty lively debate in the community about this. My opinion is that Summon Cult Spirit covers your elementals, and that is a normal, general divine spell. Your cult tells you what sorts of things you can summon, but you can just do it if you have access to them. I'm not sure that's how it's supposed to be read, but that's how I've been reading it. What you would want is a command spell.
Well, the thing that I read has said that commanding is command cult spirit.
Have I made a mistake? Did I get it backward in my own head? Give me a second.
Because in the Earth book, it lists summon Earth Elemental, summon Household Guardian as special, and then command Snake and command Swine.
Yeah, but those
special.
are animals, right?
Yeah.
So let me look real quick because I feel like maybe I got that backwards. I think I was answering the wrong question, but no, I wasn't. Those are both common spells. So Command Cult Spirit and Summon Cult Spirit are common rune magics, but the animals are not spirits, so those are special spells, right? I think that the summon spells are just examples, basically. So they're like, hey, Arnaldo can summon a cult, like she can summon a Household Guardian. That's one of her cult spirits. She can summon an elemental. That's one of her cult spirits. This is how it works. That's what I think it's doing. So I don't think you have to sacrifice for those. But if you want me to be more strict, I can.
But you have a whole bunch of spells you can choose from.
But that was my interpretation of it, was that, well, those are common spells, like, and so I don't know. And the documentation from like the FAQs and stuff is sort of not helpful.
Okay.
But Command Cult Spirit is just like, this spell permits the caster to command cult spirits, such as elementals, petty deities, guardians, and other such entities. So that's got to work.
But the summoning,
and then summon cult spirit.
there's a summon Earth Elemental that's listed as special. Is why I wasn't sure, but
No, I hear you, but like in the spell description of summon cult spirit, it says summon elemental is a specific example of the spell, but many other variations exist. So Chalana Arwai can summon a healing spirit with a 1-point spell. Inkizi can summon a naiad with a 2-point variant. So I'm pretty sure you just have those.
Okay.
Which is substantial for a large cult that has access to a wide variety of spirits, including some very large elementals. But I think that's how I'm supposed to read it. I think the description of summon cult spirit calling out summon elemental as an example of the spell, I think you're just supposed to do it. Be aware, the first time you summon an elemental, that is always the elemental that you will summon when you summon one elemental. So like whatever stats we roll, those are the stats your first elemental will have. If you summon 2 at once, we would roll a second one, and that'll always be the second one you summon. Like,
okay.
Sorry, the things you wanted to buy, you just have. So, my apologies, I guess.
Well then, I want to be able to maybe use the one and spend 100 silver to buy 2, if that's possible.
It's usually be one at a time.
Okay. Nope, that's fine.
So yeah, sorry. But yeah, you can use this one though to get something without spending the silver, but you can't buy more.
I think Heal Body is what I'm looking at.
That would be really useful.
That just feels like a good idea.
It's a powerful spell. I mean, it fixes all the damage to all hit locations all at once without costing MP. It's a good spell.
Yep, let's do that. Plus, that way I get another rune point.
Right.
I'm only down to 19, pal.
Oh, did you have 20? Jeez, okay. And then put a check in your POW score because it's your High Holy Day, so you get that automatically.
I wasn't trying to lower it beforehand. Maybe.
No, you're good. But yeah, so you'll get that check for the High Holy Day. At this point, you have everything you need. So as far as qualifying for the upper tiers.
Never mind, I'm going down to 18.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. See, probably for the best you didn't get to then, because you would have dropped yourself below the. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So good. All right. So yeah, so you'll spend your time on that. You will learn Heal Body, and that makes sense, right? You're very much of a like we were talking about earlier. You're more deeply feeling like that connection to Ronaldo. Like you're gonna give birth. You have like your marriage is being renewed. It's harvest time. You have your Pelora stuff going on, so you're definitely feeling that like renewal and like cycle of new life. And so Heal Body would make a lot of sense there. It's thematically appropriate. Speaking of marriages, how do you want to handle your marriage? That's an easy question, right?
Yes, for sure. At least go another year.
Okay. Okay. So on page 427, there's a little chart of the core book. There's a little chart that describes the different types of marriages. There are 7 classes of marriage. You're in a year marriage, so you have a year husband. You made him your under husband last time. No, actually, you made him an Azrolean husband, so that the children would be yours. So for 1 year, you have more status and property. He moves to your house. The children belong to your clan. You could technically take more than one husband in that arrangement, but you didn't. And that's okay. So your next thing, you can always append your husband to the status, and you have some options, right? So you can be husband and wife. That's equal participation. You would move in with him. He doesn't have a place to go. Children are his, but you both have status and property. Husband and under wife. The husband has more status and more say in what goes on. He can have more than one wife. You don't want to do either of those two, I don't think. Wife and under husband. Technically, that would mean any future children you have belong to his clan. He doesn't have a clan.
So let's do it an Ezrealian husband, and
Okay,
we
that
can
makes sense.
cut off the ear and just keep going.
Okay, cool. So you're just going to marry him with the expectation that the two of you will stay married, but with the understanding that either one of you can leave at any time. Cool. You could always make him a bed husband's rock. No property changes hands, save for that publicly granted to the witnesses. The children are raised by the individual who is not named in the title. For the record, Kaelor's marriage is a love spouse marriage, so they married out of romantic love, so no property changes hands. And if there's any question, they go to the father's clan. And since she was a slave, they go to his clan. Good times. Okay, cool. So you have an Ezrealian husband. So you are firmly in charge of this relationship, but
Obviously.
yeah, obviously. Nice. Nicely done. So you'll retake those vows. You don't change the terms except to make it more permanent. So Barenth agrees to that. He is comfortable with this. You have done a lot for him, and more than you had to. Like, more than would be reasonable to expect of a your spouse. Like, you went to some effort to track down his kids and retrieve them. So, and you've been good.
And do we make them, as much as we can, a part of the clan?
So that wouldn't be a part of your marriage process.
Okay.
Those are his kids, right? But because of the general stance that your tribe and clan are taking towards them, Aboder, you will be able to adopt them. So they will become part of your clan.
Hooray, more mouths to feed.
Yay.
Legally.
About to viciously overburden you with a surfeit of children.
We're outnumbered.
All right. And then within a couple weeks of that, you will be giving birth. How exciting. We're not going to get super blow by blow here, but you will, Cenarius will one day, shortly after your High Holy Day, probably in Movement Week, Clay Day of Movement Week. It's a good day. So you will find yourself in labor. Now, because of the spells and blessings and stuff that have been put on you, what we will find here is that labor is not dangerous. This is a huge change from history. Labor is not dangerous at all. You are not going to be, you're not going to die in childbirth. You're not going to face crippling injury, or any of the major problems that can happen from childbirth. Any like physical injury sustained will be relatively minor. It'll also be able to be healed with a heal spell. So like, you'll be more or less able to be back on your feet the next day if you wanted to. It's not uncommon for women to rest either, because it's still an ordeal. It is relatively painless. There is some pain and discomfort, but not like wild amounts of it. The process will be successful. You will not have any stillborn children. It's just not really a thing in Glorantha, unless something goes really wrong. Mystically, magically, like someone screwed up a hero quest, or there are bad omens or a curse wrong. Like, it's just not something that accidentally happens. So we're going to go to a table in between adventures. I need to find it real quick.
On 426.
Yes, we're going to look at that. This is not obviously how it's going to play out. You do still get a bonus because you're noble, so you have a bonus on this roll. Why don't they list it in child? Why don't they list it here?
Probably by movement time. Sorry.
I'm sure, right? Like, it's listed in noble somewhere. That it gives you
422.
lifestyle. Yeah, the lifestyle gives you that. So you have a bonus to the roll of 15%. So rolled in bones. Remember that your magics are going to keep some of the bad stuff from happening. I have a slightly modified table, but this is the one you can kind of eyeball to give you an idea what's going on.
Because the magic also gives a plus 50, I think.
Yes. Does it? Does it? Plus pregnancy does?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because it basically lets you
Avoid.
Yeah, it lets you avoid the bad results. So let's go ahead and roll and tell me how it goes. And add your 65.
142?
142?
Yeah. I rolled the base 77.
Base 77? Okay. Okay, so here's what's going to happen.
God.
Over a lengthy childbirth, this is going to take most of the day, you will have 3 children, little triplets.
Oh, wow.
Was blessed.
Okay. Now I want you to roll 1d6 and just tell me evens or odds each time. Do this 3 times.
Odd,
Okay.
even, and even.
Okay, so of your 3 children, the first child of the 3 that you have is a little girl. The next 2 are boys.
Oh, we know my favorite.
They're all in good health. They will have some minor boons attached to them as a result of the roll. Because, well, not so much the roll, but because of the harvest ritual, which is having an additional effect. And you had some attributes to add, I think, too, right? Like 3 points. Was it 3?
At least, if I don't know if it was 3 or 5, or I think I dunked in a bunch.
Do you remember how much it was? I might have it written down. I'm looking, but plus 6. It was 6. 6 points. Okay, so I will keep that in mind. If we ever get to the point where those start to show up, we will talk about them, but they will still be quite small when I have during our projected close of campaign. So cool. So by the end of that day, right, you are sort of cradling 3 little squalling babies. Baranth is pleased. Your mother would have been there for a good chunk of that. The village midwife, like clan midwife, would have been there for a good chunk of that. Plus anybody else you wanted to be there would be there.
Yeah.
I was going to force my way there. I mean, I'm probably not what most people expect to have at a birth, but maybe you.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, so you've got 3 little dudes. Well, 2 little dudes and a little dudette. But that's what you got. So they're healthy, happy, all the things you expect out of little Orlanthe and Alden babies. Your immediate concern is that you need to leave in a few weeks. And
I didn't think this part through.
formula does not exist in Glorantha.
So you need a milkmaid.
So you need nurses. Yeah, you need wet nurses to help you with this. You are going to need more than one.
You would have needed them anyway, since there's only one of you.
Yeah, you would struggle to support 3 children on your own. But yeah, you're going to need assistance when you leave. So generally speaking, a wet nurse is going to be somebody who either historically, somebody who lost a child recently, right, and so can latch another kid pretty quickly, or someone who is still nursing, right, and like about to wean, or just capable, right, like just can handle it for a time. But those are kind of like, some of those options aren't going to work for, like, the first option is not going to work for you because it doesn't happen in Glorantha society. It's very rare to lose a child early, young. It's another, also like 2% of Sarder and Tarsh, 2% of the adult population are Chalana Auri initiates according to the graphs, like the charts in the mythology book, which means that 1 in every 50 adults is a dedicated medical specialist. That's
Nuts.
That's extraordinary. I don't really know how to model mortality in this setting.
Don't try too hard; it gets confusing.
I'm not. But just be aware, like, childbirth mortality basically non-existent. Child mortality very low, closer to modern than to historical classical period. The setting is a little more dangerous than modern. There's more murder, more like monsters and things, but on the medical side, surprisingly close. So now I will say, you have an active community of people in the Arnaldo Temple. You can definitely find people to help you handle this. It's just a question of like thinking about it and some work to do, and being aware that you are asking people to do that for you, which may also impact what you do with some of the loot you gain.
That's fine.
It's up to you. I'm just throwing it out there while we're thinking about it. Also, you should name these kids, but you don't have to do it right away if you don't have good names lined up for them yet.
I got potential ones. The girl would be Arissa.
Okay.
And then one boy would be Broyan. And the other one, the name generator said Argrath, and I said no.
I want you to know that Brian is pronounced Brian.
Not now.
I want you to know. That's how that name is pronounced historically, more or less.
And then
from its
Corin
sources.
as kind of a derivative of Corin.
How are you going to... Can you spell that for me?
It'd be like Coran.
Okay.
We're kind of like Corin, but Corin.
Right, like Corin Horn.
Yeah.
The Corellian Jedi. Yeah, but with only one R. So different. Cool, sounds good. Those are good names. I swear I've seen Arissa somewhere before. I know that the name generator is pulling from published sources. I think it's the name of a Chalana Auri character or NPC somewhere. Maybe in one of the Sarder books. But it's a good name. I like it. Cool. All right. Well, that happened. Good job, team. You had 3 babies. You now have 5 children.
Wow. You went from 0 to
To
5.
100, right? Like, real quick.
Oh, dear Lord.
Help. My apologies to Earthstar.
Yeah, it's funny. Of note, in the real world, goat's milk is basically the best substitute for children. Like, cow's milk will kill babies. It's too salty. But goat's milk works. But you're Orlanthe, so it's not really an option.
Beer?
Beer. Just give them beer. Beer is good for you. Oh, man. Funny.
No, I will tap into the temple and or
Mhm.
some of my Carl's Cotters.
Right. What you find pretty quickly is that people want to help because you're clearly like a rising star. So people want to get attached to that. Like if we help you out here, then that means that you owe us something. That's a favor, that we might need someday. It's something where establishing a relationship with you is useful. So like you don't have a hard time finding people who want to help you.
I know between my
Welcome
mother
to
and
being.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm saying welcome to being important so that everybody else wants to help you, so you owe them a favor in money. Not because they really love you.
see, I feel like it's the Mandalorian. It's really easy to find a babysitter.
Right. And also Arnaldans don't care about being loved. Like the Harmony Rune and the fertility aspects don't really care about like, do you have proper like affection for me? It's like I just want it to work.
That's fair.
Deeply pragmatic. So it's easy to find a babysitter because people they know that you're going off to do something important, something that usually has rewards. And so helping you do that should, eventually some of that should make it to them is probably the thinking. Or just generally being like helpful to you in your time of need will result in you being able to help back. And you have a lot of clout. So that's pretty cool. All right, next up. Not to like work down the checklist too hard, but we are on the clock a little. You have a couple weeks here where you're kind of like spending time with your new children. You are handling that. You are recovering for a day or two, and then you're basically fine again. Magic fixes a lot of these things right up, so it's just not a big deal. But at that time, which would be Truth Week,
Hooray!
she is carrying a pack that is just full of like scrolls and parchments. She has like a walking stick, and she's carrying she's wearing like all of her gear, so she's wearing what little armor she owns. And she tells you she's pretty like generally Martina has been a little bit. I mean, you guys have adventured with her several times. She's a little bit on the lazy side. Has kind of been your like. She's not super strong, right? Like she's kind of like I don't really want to do the physical labor. You've oftentimes seen her like just kind of hanging out, eating stuff, like and reading. Like that seems to be like the default state for Mardina is like I found a flatbread and I'm reading something interesting. This is fine. I'm happy here. She seems to you to be relatively driven, and she looks like she's never been pudgy because that's just not the sort of vibes you guys lead for the most part. But she looks like she's lost some weight, so she's definitely been like traveling hard. And she tells you she's like visibly happy to see you guys. Like she like lights up, gets a big grin, like throws like hugs at both of you, takes some time to coo over your babies, and then she tells you we have a lot to talk about.
Ooh.
Excellent. I'm excited. Hear what she has to say.
She'll nod. She'll start like rummaging through her pack. You're gonna find your whatever table you have at your stead dominated by stuff she's spreading out pretty quickly. And she's excited, right? So she starts talking. Several times you're gonna have to reel her back a little bit and be like, okay, so like
Slow down.
like slow
Repeat that.
down. We don't need this aside focus. But she's basically she spent the winter with the elves and learned a lot about their lives and stuff and talked to them. She came back to Aldature and started doing some research. She's met several times with your brother, Scenarios, and talked to him about what he saw when he was in the Green Hell, which is just a fancy term for the elven underworld. It's where all of the brown elves go in the wintertime when they die. Like they go to sleep in the winter and they wake back up in the spring, and their souls descend into the underworld during that time. And that's where he went when he died. That's where the elves basically kept him. So she's interviewed him several times. She's chased down a bunch of scrolls, and she's been to Boldhome to look at both Linker Mai collections there and what's his name? Linker Mai and the lunar one.
Eruptionor?
Yeah, Eruptionor. Has gone to look at scrolls from their collections as well. She's also spent quite a bit of time in the Johnston Compendium, which is the largest library in Starter.
She's had quite the year.
Yes, she's been very busy.
Good for her.
she's been mapping out what she thinks the elves are doing, and she's fully on board with it, but she has some warnings. So
We get sacrificed in the end to the trees.
no,
Not
not
directly.
intentionally. Okay, so the long and the short of it is that, and she asks that you keep this a secret for now until it's over, and then once she's
Right.
published, you can tell whoever you want. So, but
Hold it. Do I get my name as like a grad student on
you will
this?
be mentioned, credits will be given, but she thinks that what the elves are doing is raising one of their great trees.
And what is a great tree?
It's a tree of all trees. It's the center of a magical elven wood. It is a place of power, not unlike a great temple. They're rare. They're not common. Most of them come from before time started. So like this isn't just like a ritual, right? It's not just like they're hiring mercenaries to help a ritual to make the forest healthier. Like they're doing something big.
It's a hero quest. Multi-year hero quest. Bring a tree from the other side to this side,
Yes.
basically.
Yes. So that's a big deal.
That's
So
cool.
you're what you're tangled up in. She's
Yeah.
cool with that, but she knows that much like the summons of evil, which is an Orlanthe right, the longer you hold the right, the bigger what the things you draw up are. She thinks that's the case here too.
So we have a big nasty coming in dark season, and a year and a season from now, it's even worse.
Yes, she believes very strongly that threats will escalate, but she has some ideas about what's coming.
Okay.
She doesn't know, right? It's a ritual. It draws from nearby things, so it's going to be different how it manifests every time. But they are somewhat tied to the seasons.
Yep.
Which you've sort of seen.
I already had put out my guess for this one. We'll see if I'm right.
Darkness and Trolls would be traditional for dark season. She is pretty certain that the next year after that, you will be fighting storm demons.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it's not.
I don't know anything about them, but
Ice demons, Hemeli children, creatures of Aeland.
okay.
Stuff from the frozen beyond, like that comes to scour the world. It's the things you hide from in dark season and in storm season. Things, the reason you stay in the house.
Well, we're
also,
heroes.
lastly, she tells you that in sacred time,
Well,
much like the summons of evil calls something of chaos, she's pretty sure that a ritual that's trying to rebuild a chunk of the green age will in sacred time be faced by some sort of chaos threat, and given the magnitude of the ritual, she expects it to be pretty potent. But she'd really like the ritual to succeed.
Thank you.
I would like it to succeed. I would like to live. I have double motivation for this. Also, it looks better for me if it succeeds. I like the elves.
Sensible. So given some time, she tells you, like, obviously kind of hard to do like right this second, but she can kind of go over some of this stuff with you to sort of help you get a better grasp of what's going on.
Yeah.
Which mechanically will give you checks in your Algerami lore.
Do I actually roll that, or do I just get a check?
You would put checks in them, so you would get a chance to check them at the end of the session. But that's kind of, otherwise she can give you, like, she's got your expectations set. Like, you're probably going to see trolls this year, or at least shades and darkness elementals and darkness demons. So anything you can bring with you that would help you with that would be a good idea. What that means functionally, I don't know, but that's the information she has. She also has like a sketch of what they're doing, some ideas about what it should look like, and she has some notes about the elven underworld that she didn't previously have access to. So she's been deep in the archives.
Hopefully nobody ends up in the elven underworld this year.
That would be nice.
That wasn't last year, was it? It was the year before.
It was last year. That was Earth season.
That was last year.
Yep. Yeah, we've only done 3 of them. We did the easy 3.
Well, I assume they get progressively harder.
They do.
Yeah, I don't know what we can do specifically against trolls. I guess magic and stuff. We have that equipped. I think ahead of time I could summon up an elemental.
True. It also gives you a sense of like what isn't the threat.
Yeah.
So you're able to handle like the sort of like deception and media engagement type stuff like more aptly. Like if darkness or trolls show up, you know they're going to be a problem. There's no way they might be okay.
I kind of wish I was to the point of having an iron weapon right now, though.
Right?
I wish I also had enough power I could bind an elemental.
Do you not have a binding?
I don't think did we bind one ever? don't have it written down on my character sheet. I kind of thought I did, but I don't see it on here.
I don't see it either. You have a couple of storage crystals.
I do. Now, would I have to pay a point of power to bind into those? And we just not do it? Because I've spent power since then, so it seems like I should have done that. So I was just looking at that thinking, I would like to bind that before we head off. I could take my 3-point crystal and just bind into it.
Scenarios, your character sheet is a little out of date, I think. Not percentage-wise, but I don't think you have all your stuff recorded. Well, maybe you do.
Which things are you looking at?
Okay, I was just looking for it somewhere else. I think because you have your battle axe and shield recorded.
Yes.
And then you got and then you wrote heal 6 and magic item. Okay, so no, you're good. You're up to date. Something you could have done, Scenarios, and this would be true for you too, Kathia, is that over the season, if you wanted to redo some of your spirit magic,
I would like to. I'd also like to, before I do that, if we could nail down what my new friend has.
you needed to pick 2 more points of magic for them.
I didn't.
Or did you already?
I haven't. I don't know what they have.
Yeah, we talked about it. They have light wall, light, and mobility.
It says under the write-up that there should be full.
Right. So you have two more
Light
points
wall.
to pick. I gave them some spells and then told you to pick the last 2.
I can't really see them doing would it make sense for them to have a direct offensive spell, or would it make more sense?
Probably not, but something like a protection or something would be.
Protection, or I thought about demoralize.
Demoralize would make sense too, I think.
Let's do demoralize. That gives them something offensive to do, and also cough. So what's their charisma then?
8.
Wow.
They're horses, basically.
Is that? Do you have other attributes? What's strength?
30.
Okay. Con.
13.
Size.
28. 12.
Hopefully those are all close enough to normal. I already started building it in my sheet.
No, you're fine. Yeah, it doesn't
long.
affect any of their skill percentages that are reflected on the like default build. Everything there should be basically the same.
And they only have 2 skills. I have to look back up.
Other notes: they have a love. Star has a love Kithia at 100%.
Wow.
They reciprocal whatever passion you chose. So if you had chosen loyalty or devotion, they would have a reciprocal loyalty or devotion.
The dex.
MP 17, HP 17, 3d6 damage bonus. Spirit damage for spirit combat is 1d6 plus 1.
See, what's hit points here? You're saying this. I'm actually typing it in, but I'm not moving very quickly with that. Okay, well, I'll get those spells written in here shortly.
Cool. So if either of you, reflecting on the fact that you have new magical companions or magical items that hold spells, consider moving some magic around. You could, like, scenarios. You have a heal 4, you also have a heal 6 and a magic item. So you could, forget the heal 4 and do something else if you wanted. It would cost money. So
I got a lot of empty space. So
do you?
Yeah, I've only got like 13 points known.
Oh yeah, that noggin is just rattling around.
And I mean, I might demoralize. Fire arrow, food song I need. Light, I could forget. Mobility, probably worthwhile having those for myself. Multi-miss, so I could get a bigger one. I have a protection in the armband, so I could forget the arm protection I know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a protection 4 is pretty good, so I don't know that I need a bigger one than that. And I have a spirit screen 2 in the armband.
Not that we have. That's been my blind point in this campaign, is that you guys haven't interacted with spirits at all.
Yeah, that's okay, because we're not good at it.
Right. Part of the reason you're not good at it is because you don't do it.
Well, yeah, that's true. So it seems to me like the things to do for me would probably pick up something like a flame spear or just get a blade sharp for melee.
Right. Yeah, those would be your melee options.
And I'm thinking my other spells. I don't know what other spells I would need. I'm pretty combat directed, so
right.
There's non-combat spells that'd be worthwhile. Seek Sundome Temple.
Do you get that spell?
I was just reading through the list.
Yeah, Yolorian. Yamelians get that spell.
I don't want to invest the points into Light Wall, and Estar has it.
Right. Yeah, the only advantage is being able to put up 2 at once.
would have a real advantage with trolls, admittedly.
True. Okay, so yeah, you have access to detect gold, detect silver, ignite, light wall, multi-missile, and speed dart from your initiate ship. And then from being a unicorn rider, you technically have access to fire arrow, light wall, and shimmer. You would also have access to all of the spells from associated cults that are near you. So that would be Eldrayan spells, or Alden spirit magic, and Yamelio spirit magic. Probably not Polaris.
So is there anybody I could? I know you listed them, but I just gotta look it up. So you know, you're good. I assume I could also go get something from the local Orlanthe and just pay full price.
And pay the full price, yeah.
So I mentioned Flame Spear, or Flame Blade, but I don't know that anybody gives it.
I don't know how you get it. I think you probably get it from Polaris, and there's not a Polaris temple around.
Yep.
If he gets it. It wouldn't matter if you were in the Darahapan temple, the Sol Island temple, near the capital of... I think Yelm has Flame Spear, and I think you have to get it from him.
So we don't have a handy-dandy Yelm temple around.
No. Oddly enough, you're not even associated with Yelm, even though he's Yulorna's father.
And if I forgot to go 4,
yeah,
I may not doing a protect 4 because I don't have that.
Yeah, that would be easy to do. You could get it from Orlanth, right? Like, if Ronaldo doesn't teach it herself, Orlanth does, and he's an associate cult. Yep, easily done. Just rack up the cost for it, and
I'll figure out what the cost is when I'm done. So I'm gonna go to Orlanth since I can't find Flame Blade. I don't know if I want it anyways. It's actually the one like active spell.
Yeah, it's a concentration spell. It's a weird one. So
I might pick up a Blade Sharp, and I'm guessing 4 is probably all I could pick up. But
yeah, probably so. I think moving 4 points around is probably about as much as you can accomplish in the season. Which is
my only other question is if I could boost my. I'm gonna forget protection of my own since I have an armband. That leaves me with 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The only other thing I was going to ask is if I had any ability to move the multi-missile up. But if I don't, that's fine. I'll accept
not this time. I think moving 4 points,
that's
like
fine.
taking Blade Sharp 4 is good, and then we can keep working on it. I know that you guys are pretty powerful initiates now, and you're kind of looking at like filling out and optimizing your spirit magic a little more. So we'll have opportunities for that going forward.
That's okay.
This is the first one.
So I'm paying full price for that?
Yes, because you don't have an associated cult that can teach it to you.
I don't have enough money for that.
Oof.
Yeah, it's 50 lunars per point, and I only have 184 right now.
Okay,
so
some spells are expensive. Make sure you check their prices.
They won't extend credit to me, will they?
No.
All right, then I'm going to get a Blade Sharp 3. And my follow-up question is, can I summon a salamander and bind it?
Yes, I would say this is something you'll probably want to, like, because this is a timing thing, you're going to want to have done that before your seasonal holy day.
Yes.
That way you can take that successful roll and get those points back, basically.
Yep.
You also have access to, like,
now,
weekly holy days and things.
Does this is going to bind it? This is going to take away my 3-point magic crystal.
Yes, you're gonna stuff a spirit into it.
Okay.
And I need to look up the rules for binding here, because you don't have the spirit. Well, you can command control it, but I want to make sure I understand how this works.
I do have the spirit spell for binding.
Oh, that's right, you do. So let me look it up. Okay, so you have to enchant the object with at least 1 point of power per characteristic possessed by the creature.
Okay. In that case, let me see. I may not want to do that because
it costs 3 POW.
And I'm at 12 POW before.
Right, you don't want to do that.
Season. No. So I got to build up some power. Oh, smart sure that idea. Now I can still use it and like build a big bonfire, which they won't like.
You don't need the. You have to have the element, but you do not need you don't need the appropriate volume. You just need to have it. So even a small flame, you can summon an elemental through even a small flame, but you have to have a flame. You have to have some amount of water to summon an Undying. You have to have some amount of air or earth to summon sylphs and gnomes. So you have to have some amount of moon rock to summon any loon. But it doesn't have to be 9 cubic meters of fire to summon a large salamander. It just has to be a flame.
Okay. So that's something I could do in an evening and then drop an extension on it and have it available.
Right. And I want to look up MP crystals here because there's something. Okay, so you can store a spirit in a POW crystal, like a magic point crystal, but only to be able to access its power.
Okay. So I could put like a bigger spirit than that 3 in there and have access to more magic points effectively.
Yes.
But I
Once
need
the
to
spirit has
build.
been bound within the crystal, the power of the spirit is available for use of the binder. It can't throw spells itself or take other independent actions unless you can. I mean, you could call it out, but let me think and ask some questions about these crystals because I've always seen them as a way of holding spirits for POW. But once the spirit is in there, you can always call it back out with a command spell. So
We can figure it out.
yeah, I don't
Between
want to
now
say
and next time.
no, but I'm not sure I should say yes either. So I want to look into it some more. We have a week. I
Yep.
will figure it out.
And I think worst case, if my understanding is right, if I have things prepped, I can cast a summon basically one round, and the next round cast and I'll need a control spell on it, right?
Yes, what you have.
Right. Yep, I have both spells,
Yeah, they're common spells, so you should.
and I may not even want it, and maybe the elves don't want it around. I don't know, but it's just an option. Now that I have the ability, I just want to use it because I can.
No, I understand. Okay, so is there any other magic stuff you guys want to do?
The associated cult would be half price, right?
I would not think so. It's
Yeah.
just that there's no hoops to jump through.
Okay.
I probably had hoops to jump through with the blade dart, but since I'm a Thane, I'm assuming the
It's relatively
was
easy,
kind of like,
yes.
yeah, you're cool.
Okay, then I only got to protect 3.
Okay, cool. I'm finally sapping at your vast reserves. Though, be aware, you have a lot of credit with several different cults.
Go pick up a red. Doesn't the Lunars owe us too?
The Lunars can teach you any spell at double price. So if you wanted to learn up to 4 points of magic, you could. It would just sap a lot of your credit with them. On the other hand, you've had that credit for a couple of years now and you really haven't touched it. So think it over.
I've taken Blade Sharp instead of the Flame Blade, and I think Blade Sharp's probably more useful overall.
I just don't know if I'd be able to be gone long enough in all that you're given this Earth season.
Yeah, you have a little bit of dark season. It's kind of up to you what you think is reasonable. I'm not going to push to it either way.
Nah.
Okay, so keep it in mind for next time, like down during the seasonal downtimes and stuff that we're going to experience after this adventure, and for like sea season or in fire season and stuff of next year, it might matter. So, all right, cool. We didn't do a lot of skill checking this session, but go ahead and pick 4 skills for Earth season. Resolve any skill checks you have. Resolve those. Excuse me. Resolve any power checks you have. We ended up running a little over.
Yay. Going for power. I mean, I rolled to succeed. I'm going to take the 1, so I'm back to 13, and now my various bonuses are back.
Nice.
And my magic points. Yay. Okay.
The cult lore and brew have gone up.
Do I have any chance to improve read writing, or do I need to wait for a season where I can do training?
You would need to train it because it's not part of your cult or profession.
And I was too busy this season.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
No
magic
That's
magic that I offered you guys basically filled in for training.
You're good. I was kind of assuming that, but I thought I left a note.
Skill check it. I am one that if you have to roll a skill check for it, I will let you put a check in it. I know that
you didn't
that's
have me roll skill check.
I didn't. But if I had, that's an extremely common house rule to be like, no, you can't. You can improve your lores by using them. You learn things in life, not just by study. And I tend to hold to that. Like, you should be able to do that. The only advantage is that the lores, you can technically train them past 75. So,
right. Well, if to make it all work out, it failed anyways.
Oh, nice.
But I made my Worship Yolorna, which is up over 100% now.
Dang.
Which makes sense, I guess. And I apparently learned something by trying to skewer Humakti.
I would think fighting Humakti would teach you something.
Well, I actually learned both Oops, but the die fell off my lap. Both spear and medium shield. I realized my medium shield was actually one of my skill checks I added because I failed in the fight.
Yeah.
Overall, actually, a pretty productive season despite not having very many skills we checked.
Right. Not a lot of skill checks, but a lot of stuff happened.
Well, and I actually had all but one of my skills go up,
Nice.
despite some of them being high. I failed the lowest one, which is appropriate, I guess. Is S-Star considered an initiate and have
No.
access to divine magic?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Nope. S-Star is a magical and technically a mortal
Yep.
unicorn, but he is not a member of a cult.
Okay. So he is full of magic. And
Yep.
It's just spirit.
Yep. He's capable, but he could, in theory, join a cult.
But
Unicorns usually don't.
Okay.
So they may become a lay member of Yolorna or a lay member of Yalm or a lay member of Gamelio, but that's usually about as far as it goes.
I just used the percentages with no bonus off of the book, but I do have the attacks on there.
Okay, cool.
And I have the hit locations written down, but I didn't do hit points yet.
No, that's cool. It's good. I
That's
told you I
fine.
would do it, and I dropped the ball on it. So
You're right.
I
I was doing it well while things were going on, and I'll just put the 2 skills they get.
One other thing you might wish to consider:
Yes,
barding.
yes, I would like to consider barding.
Okay, how did you spend your money on spells? Did you end up at the Lunar Temple? I'm sorry, things get really expensive when we start adding things. You know what? Let's table the barding talk for the start of next session while you guys are doing prep for the mission.
Yeah, if I can find some way to parlay some of that something altucher into barding,
You definitely could, and we'll talk about it more next session. But we're running pretty late now.
Okay.
I just want to finish up our seasonal stuff, and I'll make a note about barding.
Okay. Or I might drop my spells here and do those there and buy bard directly with cash, whatever works out.
Scenarios, anything else from you?
I believe so.
Okay, how'd your skill checks go?
I got that Aldrami Lord check, Brew and Cult Lore,
Nice.
and almost got my POW check, but I didn't.
That's close is pretty good at this point. Your POW is very high.
Yeah. I was hoping.
Yeah, you are both playing very powerful characters.
I need more POW so I can build a binding element, a
Right.
binding dilly. So I need to build the POW up. I think I
Makes
meant
sense.
to, and I think I just sacrificed. Yeah, I sacrificed it last time on the hero quest.
Yeah, but it was worth it, I think.
Well, absolutely. Not complaining. I'm just
No worries. It set you back a little bit, but it helped you in somewhere else. All right. If we are all good then with our Earth season checks, we will return next session for Dark season, and we will prep and then go out and start the adventure with the elves, our
Okay.
yearly elven adventure. So that's what we'll be looking
Excellent.
at. So,
Excellent.
all right, cool. Then I think we're good. I'll see you all in the next one.